Rabbi Harold Kushner wrote, God is like a mirror. The mirror never changes, but everybody who looks at it sees something different. How often we forget in this multi-ethnic, multicultural, multi-generational world we live in that there is so much diversity, and we've got to be especially careful in how we welcome people into our spiritual communities, into our life, into our work environment, anywhere that we go. Because while there is only one mirror, that all of us and each one of us have been made in the spiritual image and likeness of the Creator, we are in the physical expression of life very, very different from one another. And so I want to spend just a few minutes talking about the diversity welcome factor. The diversity welcome factor is a term that I coined and that I use in my work with spiritual communities to help evaluate and create an environment where people of many different ethnic groups, many different sexual identity groups, many different age groups can all be and feel welcome. It's so easy for us to say, we welcome everybody. Everyone is welcome to come to our community. But have we actually established policies and procedures and ways of being that truly welcome people? So there are three things that I focus on when I am thinking about and working with the diversity welcome factor. Number one, motivation. What is our motivation for bringing together many different kinds of people? Let's be really clear about what motivates us to want to create an inclusive environment. Number two, management. How are we going to manage the welcoming process? What we do, how we do it. We really need to not leave that up to the individual personality of our greeters, our ushers, the people who are the first to welcome someone into our community. And the meet and greet. How do we manage, how do we design, how we meet and greet people, both during the service and before and after the service, during a class and before and after a class, during an event and before and after the event. So those are the three: motivation, management, and meet and greet that I often look at when I'm evaluating the diversity welcome factor for a spiritual community or a ministry. In our motivation, we want to be sure that we have connected our motivation to a spiritual principle or value. It is easy to say, we love diversity. And is that translatable into your spiritual beliefs and teachings? So for example, for me, I believe that diversity is a divine idea that the Creator has created all of life, and it is no accident that people are different from one another. That is by design, just like there are an unlimited number of flowers, that they're all flowers, but you don't expect a rose to behave or need the same nutrients or sun or care as an orchid. And you don't expect the orchid to be exactly like the Gerber daisy. And so why would we expect that humanity would be the same? We shouldn't. And we are able to value that human beings are different from one another. So what's your motivation? What scripture or spiritual principle, what spiritual attribute can you connect your motivation to? Management. In all organizations, there is an important need for management. That is not to restrict people, it is to ensure that you have policies and procedures and processes that actually will give you the result that you want. So many places that I have visited, I can tell who are the visitors or the newer people compared to the people who have been around for 5 years or 10 years or longer, because I will watch the greeters. And when someone is walking up and they've been a part of the community for a long time, the arms get outstretched and there's a big smile on the greeter's face. And, oh, Tracy, we're so happy to see you. Haven't seen you in a while. Hug, hug, kiss, kiss. And someone who is newer to the community or visiting for the first time, they are greeted courteously. They are greeted respectfully. Oh, hi, welcome to our service today. Would you like a bulletin? But they just saw you be so excited for the person you know. And that alone can create a huge difference. So you want to manage the process with the people who are officially in those roles, but over time you also want to manage what long-term members do to greet people. And that leads us directly connected into the meet and greet. If you have a meet and greet period during your service, or, well, let's start with that. If you have a meet and greet period during your service, have you set it up in a way that someone who is a visitor will still feel welcome? Or do you put them on the spot? Do you do things that make them stand out, especially early in the service? Or is there a way that you integrate them in? Do you tell them why you're asking them to stand up or raise their hand so that they understand they're going to receive a gift, or they're going to receive a book or a magazine or something? Or do you want to not highlight them at all in a way that they must raise their hand or stand up, and you just greet them and welcome them and invite them to pick up a visitor packet at the back of the service? Now, meet and greet also really, it is important to look at before and after service, before and after class. What is your signage like? Is it clear where to go? Where is the sanctuary, or where is the fellowship hall, and how to get there? Do you have signs that tell people what to do? Are there instructional signs? Is it easy to find the bathrooms? Do they know? Can they know, even if they've only visited once or twice, can they know kind of what to expect during the service? All of that is a part of making people feel welcome. And finally, in this making people feel welcome, when you look at both management and meet and greet, are there images around your facility? Or if you are doing things virtually, is your image in social media? Do your images include people of different age groups, different racial identities, different skin tones, different looks in terms of clothing and attire? So that if I only am introduced to you on the internet, I know or believe that I will feel welcome. So that's just a little bit about the diversity welcome factor. The diversity welcome factor, as we use it at Stained Glass Spirit, is one of 4 segments, 4 parts that we look at when we are helping communities become inclusive or maintain and grow their commitment to inclusion. We also look at the inclusion worship factor, outrageous outreach, and how to be intentionally inclusive. My name is Tracy Brown. That's a little bit about the diversity welcome factor. You can learn more at stainedglassspirit.net.